If we go back to 1848, when the Crown purchased Canterbury from our tipuna, one of the conditions or promises that were made was that reserves would be set aside for our people. Our tipuna asked for this land here at Rakaia to put into reserve, and in 1886 that reserve came into being. The place was a mahinga kai of our people, and they rested and replenished their kai resources as they travelled up and down the coast. The name Tahuatau really comes from tahu, the lighting of the fires, and tau, the cooking of the kai. The land was leased to cropping farmers until 1996. The Incorporation decided to not renew the lease, but to convert from cropping to dairy.
The farm's 216 effective hectares, all in a ring fence, very flat, 100% irrigated. We have 850 cows in the winter, maximum milking 830 cows. Yeah, we're doing around about 360 to 370,000 kilos each year.
When I started work here, the property was basically a blank canvas. There was nothing here. There was no buildings, no wells, no irrigation infrastructure, no fences even. For the Incorporation, it was a risk to go out and borrow. Then I think it was about $1.5 million, which doesn't seem like a lot of particularly large amount of money now, but in 1996 it certainly was.
Over the last 19 years, dairying on this farm has been most impressive. We have accumulated more than $6.5 million in profits.
So this land that you're all sitting on is deemed as Māori land. We traditionally had 27 owners, and so far we now own 2 farms, and we would like to own 25 more. A farm for every traditional owner of this land. And yep, you might go, "Ooh, that's ambitious, that's ambitious." The principle there though is that we're here for the long haul.
Going back to 19 years ago where this farm was converted, and the cost of the conversion was around $1.3 million. At our last valuation, the farm here is about $13 million. We've got a second farm which we bought 9 years ago, about 4.1, and its latest valuation is $10 million. We're now sitting on asset base of about $23 million. I think one of the reasons why we do pretty well at the moment is that our actual debt level is pretty minimal. We have at this point in time only 1.4 million in debt, which is about 6% of our asset base. If you look at our graphs, you'll see that we constantly perform ahead of the benchmark position. Our per kilogram of milk solid farm costs is going to be below $1.50 for the current year, which in anybody's books is an impressive figure.
Most of you here will be familiar with spring rotation planner, and what sort of intrigues me about the industry is everybody's planned to death in spring, but I don't see enough planning in autumn.
Mark and I appreciate the fact that without this bunch of guys we can't operate our business, and we want enthusiastic people that want to not only challenge us, but that can see that there is a future in the dairying industry for themselves as well.
Rakaia Incorporation made the move 19 years ago to take over their own lands and start farming them themselves again. They've engaged really good sharemilkers, really good farm advisors. It's ensured they've driven a fantastic result over a long period of time.